Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. I am doing a food prep video today, so taking you along to meal prep and make a few recipes. Usually I like to make 3 meals when I don't have my kids. These are meals that I eat weekly. I tried to film this intro when I was in the kitchen. I set out all my ingredients and then someone came to mow the lawn. The guys just come to mow the lawn, so I'm gonna do a voiceover. Also, if you make these meals, I don't usually measure. I'm always tasting and adding whatever needs to be added. So please taste it because everyone's measurements and the way they measure is different. Okay, let's start cooking. So the first meal I'm cooking is a high protein satay stir fry, a peanut satay stir fry. I am using snow peas, broccoli, carrot, and champignon mushrooms, but you can use any vegetables you like. I like to have 4 usually. Just cutting the snow peas in half and then cutting the broccoli into little florets that are a good size for me, my baby, and my toddler. I like to actually cut my broccoli and then wash it afterwards because then I feel like I'm getting into the nooks and crannies and it feels like I'm actually washing it properly. You can cut your veggies however you like, but the way you cut them is going to directly impact the way it cooks. So I like to cut my carrots into little strips so that they're crunchy but not too crunchy. Obviously my kids are eating them, so I do like them to be a bit softer for them. And I'm just cutting my mushrooms in half. I actually prefer them whole, but again, for my baby, it's a lot easier for her to eat it when it's in half, and it also just absorbs the flavor way more. Now I'm just blanching all my veggies except for the mushrooms. So just putting the broccoli and snow peas and carrot in boiling water for a few seconds and then transferring it to an ice bath. Mine wasn't really iced, but I did put my water in the freezer for a bit and it did the job. I blanched my veggies to preserve its color. It stops the enzymes that make it lose color, nutrients over time. It also preserves the flavor and helps them stay crunchy, and it's how Asian restaurants usually cook them. So now I'm cutting my high protein firm tofu. I use firm tofu for this, and I recently started boiling it after learning about a process called osmosis, where the heat of the boiling water helps open up the protein structure, making the tofu softer and squishy and more porous, so it soaks up the sauce and flavor way better. And it's honestly been a game changer. I am obsessed with tofu again after kind of being over it for a few years. It not only absorbs the flavor and sauce better, but it also absorbs salt better, so I boil it in salt like I do with pasta. So now I'm just getting out the ingredients for the sauce. I'm using peanut butter, maple syrup, soy sauce, sesame oil, and olive oil. The sesame oil is just for taste. Oh, and garlic, of course. Here's me trying to get the garlic powder out of the garlic. I would use fresh garlic, but every time I've gotten fresh garlic in the last few weeks, it tastes like spring onion, so I'm not sure what's going on, but I'm using garlic powder. And I honestly just put a lot in. I probably do about 3 cloves worth because I love garlic. So I add the mushrooms first to saute and grill them. As soon as the garlic becomes fragrant, I add soy sauce and then the peanut butter. I missed filming this part, but that's okay. Then I add a bit of water. This is like a 1-pot satay dish. You could obviously make the sauce in a separate bowl. So I've added the soy sauce, garlic, and peanut butter. I just do everything to taste. Add a little bit and taste as you go. You really can't go wrong. You add more peanut butter and more soy sauce later as well. And then I add the tofu and let that sit in the sauce for a bit, kind of soak up the sauce like I said before. Then I add the blanched vegetables last because they've already been cooked. They just need to soak up the sauce as well. Honestly, this meal will taste better the next day after it's sat in the fridge, soaked up all the flavors. I honestly think most meals taste better the next day. And here's me adding more peanut butter to taste. Water will thin it out and make it more of a sauce. And that's basically it. Your stir fry is done, and I actually forgot to add the noodles in on camera, but you boil the noodles for 2 minutes and then you just add them in and mix them in. And we're done. Now I'm going to make a cashew pesto pasta. This next part of the video I filmed more of a vlog style. The video is kind of all over the place. I didn't stick to one theme, but if you guys prefer the cinematic vibe with a voiceover, please let me know, or if you like the more casual vlog style, I would love to know. I literally mush my hands together. Can you see that? That's how I squeeze my lemons. And I also like getting the stringy bits in it. I always get it in my eye. It feels like a freaking chemical. We're good. And now we just blend it up, I think. Oh shit, I need a few more cashews. Alright, I'm gonna quickly boil some cashews because I had these from yesterday. It's mostly just pine nuts and sunflower seeds. Let's measure. Again, I never measure this, so I'm just gonna try and eyeball what is good. I feel like half a cup of cashews should be good. That's like one. And when I measure cashews, I kind of fill it up. I try to imagine if there wasn't any gaps. Maybe more. What would this be? Half a cup, three-quarter cup. Now I just see it. I'm gonna pop this on the stove. Soaking the cashews in room temperature water for a longer period of time is best, but we boil them when we're lazy or when we forgot. I eat cashews a lot, a staple in my life. I love them. It's easy to just substitute cashews with sunflower seeds, which are a lot cheaper. Sometimes I do all cashews, sometimes I split between cashews and pine nuts, sometimes I do pine nuts, cashews, and sunflower seeds. I'm boiling my cashews and then I'm going to cook my pasta so that the pasta can cook and cool down while I make my pesto sauce. I'm using fusilli pasta, by the way. Just ignore my really gross air fryer, but I just made myself some heated up myself some potatoes. Yeah, they're just roasted potatoes with oregano, thyme, and parsley, and salt and pepper, of course. And I miss my little girl, so I'm just having it in my toddler's bowl. I feel hot. I didn't air fry it for long enough, so they're a bit softer, but yesterday they were so crispy. I put it in the oven for however long, and then I air fried it for like 20 minutes at the end to make it really crispy. Oh, it's so good. I would also do rosemary if you have it. We just didn't have it. I had a friend over. So good. Here I'm just adding some salt to my pasta. I don't actually bother adding any oil. I just stir it and it doesn't stick together, and there's heaps of healthy fats in the olive oil in my pesto sauce, so we're not missing out on anything. Now I'm just blanching my basil for a few seconds before transferring it to an ice bath. This is the same thing I did for the vegetables in the stir fry. You also want to use boiling water here. I'm clearly not using boiling water. I think it just cooled down, but yeah, ideally you want to use boiling water and an ice bath to do the process the right way. Now I'm just straining the basil and letting it sit in the cold water for a minute to completely cool down, and it looks so pretty at this point. I just think it looks so magical. Now we're at the fun part, the end. We get to add it all to a blender and blend it all up. And that's basically it. If your pesto is a different color, don't be scared. My pesto is always a different color, just depending on the type of basil and color the basil is, as well as all the other factors, how much cashews you put in, etc. Like I said, this can be used in pasta, salads, bread, bagels, or pizza, really anything. I'm just chopping some pumpkin here to make a little pesto pasta salad with the pasta that I cooked, as well as some spinach. I also love roasting cashews and putting that on top, but I didn't do that here. I'm just spraying it with some oil and popping it in the oven until it's soft, and I'm done. It is so yummy. And then I just put it all together, and that's it. This is a go-to meal, especially for summer, and I hope if you try it, you love it too. Yeah, sure.
Thank you, Mom.
What?
Look at all the pesto in there.
I know, there's lots.
Okay, so Mom, is that hot? You have my bowl?
Mm-hmm.
Have a bowl?
I'm gonna get. You want some more? I'm sorry. More? Here. Here. Yummy. Please don't pull my pants. More color. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was a bit of a shorter one, but I would love to know if you like this style, and if so, I will make some more. If you like this style of videos, please comment, and then I'll know to make more, and maybe the next one can be some high protein meals. Is that what I was gonna say? 1 second, Kat.
What?
Okay.
Nothing.
Mm-hmm.